Friends, I think we've been lied to. I think in a way we have been deceived. Because as men, we've been fed and told, and we personally have believed this lie. Men don't feel feelings. Men are always tough. Men are always strong. Men are never weak. Men don't feel their feelings, and that's okay. We're not supposed to. All those things, friends, are conducive to an outcome in your life you're not going to like one day. I know this for a fact. For me, where it shows up is a very ugly pattern in my relationships. Your ego will be there to protect you. It'll be there to tell you you're fine just the way you are. It's her problem. It is that person's problem. It is not yours. And as I've gone on this journey, friends, it's taken some work. It really has. I wanted to always reject this idea. I don't like to think of myself as being broken in any capacity. So it hurt. It's painful to sit with the fact that I'm not fine the way I am. That actually the way I am is because of suppression of emotions. Because I don't know how to feel my feelings. All those things at one point got in my way. But they also allowed me to be very successful. I became a registered nurse. I'm in a good financial place. I look at my life and I feel like for the most part it's pretty well put together. I have a relationship of 9 years, which if you're going to hear along the story here, wouldn't be 9 years if it wasn't for this type of work. But I always felt like I was fine the way I was. I believed the lie and it got me pretty far. But then in relationships is where it just mirrored right in my face my greatest weakness, which was anything with vulnerability, anything with emotions and feelings and openness. That was my biggest pain point. This lie led me here. And when you think of this lie, friends, you could break it down in terms of where does it come from. You could look at it in terms of the biggest system, which is the patriarchy, which maybe we'll slowly dive into in this channel here. But you see it all the time in movies, right? The underdog who grinds to the top. Fuck feelings, right? You're going to get there regardless. You push through. A man's story, a movie with a man's story, you're often going to see them white knuckle their way through and succeed, right? You're going to see it over and over again. Another area is culturally. I imagine in your culture, just as it is mine, I'm Hispanic. And in the Hispanic culture, we have something known as machismo, someone being macho. My dad was that. My dad is that. He holds that masculine strength, that energy, like no other I haven't seen. When I've looked at other fathers growing up, my dad was that guy. And I got that energy, and I'm very thankful for it. At the same time, it kept putting me in very bad situations in relationships, to the point where I was going to lose my relationship, and I had to change. And an easy thing I like to just point out here, it's easy for us to reject that we need to change. And the thing is, friends, if you don't change, the cost of believing that lie is going to lead to a lot of pain for you. A lot of pain, a lot of anger, loneliness, anxiety, depression, bad vices. All of that, friends, if you really open your eyes, where does that action come from? Pain. Pain's okay. This is life. We're going to experience pain. You have to process that pain. If you don't, you're just going to bottle it inside. That is the blueprint you're currently following by believing a lie. That men don't feel feelings, men are always tough, men don't show weakness. Man up. Man up. Come on. If you believe this lie, that is the outcome. That is the cost. When in actuality, friends, if you discredit this lie, push this lie away, and create your own truth, which is actually what I want you to see, the opposite of that, to feel your feelings, to be open and vulnerable, to actually cry, to process that pain, that is actually real strength. You know why? Because it's the one thing you don't want to do. Same thing with that workout. Same thing with counting your macros. What it is you don't want to do, I'm sure you've seen it. You get something from that. I want you guys to flip the script and see actually learning about your emotions, about your feelings as that same power you just haven't unlocked yet. I mean, for me, I like to picture it this way, and I always light up when I say it. I always want to be that guy that's capable of it all. He can hold the line. When shit hits the fan, he shows up. He doesn't show weakness, but he's capable of weakness. He's also vulnerable. He will cry because he's actually processing his shit, his feelings. And in doing that, it does hurt. But he's not going to fall into bad vices, which is the root. You could put a mask, you could do it all on the surface as much as you want, friends. You could do that workout, count your macros, look successful on the surface. But why are you still drinking? Why are you still escaping? There's pain there. There's feelings involved that you're suppressing. You have to process that shit. You have to. To not process it, it's going to result in those bad vices, despite being successful. Or all of it crumbles, and you're not successful, and then you still have these poor vices. I like to break it down in this way here. I don't feel good and I don't know why. when everything's all good around me. There's a reason. And if you're a man, this is probably it. But that's okay. We're here to really shine a light on this stuff because no one ever talks about it. And just a little quick example, friends. My dad gave me a blueprint. He is my role model. As a young boy, he was my superhero. I remember those moments where I was told to suppress my emotions, to not cry. If I felt hungry, no, don't feel it. You can work through this. You can grind through this. You don't feel anything. Over and over the years. And all of that, it just fucking ripped through my feelings. Destroyed them. I don't feel anything. And I thought not feeling anything was a superpower. The same way I saw it in my father. He still has it. And that's what I then feared in my life. I feared that same thing because I saw it happening to me as well. As I also thought not feeling my feelings was a superpower. It led to disconnection with my partner. She felt alone, lonely, and at the same time I was too. And friends, we could like it or not, but if you want a relationship with a woman, you're going to need to learn how to do this. And my woman, she called me up to grow. She called me up to grow. She loves me enough to push me to grow and connect with my feelings. She's actually gonna be a therapist, so maybe more than most partners. But that's also why I'm now here, telling this story, sharing it with you. Because as my greatest weakness, I am slowly trying to build it into a strength. If not, at least up to somewhere where it doesn't take away from my life. And like I said earlier in the video, friends, at some point it's gonna pop up its head. It's inevitable. Your lack of feelings, your lack of ability to process feelings, it's gonna show up. So I wanna end this video with this, friends. This channel is called More Than a Man because I think you can hold the line, because that's what I'm doing. I'm holding that line and I'm doing more. I want you guys to still be unshakable, to have the possibility and potential to be unshakable. I don't want to take that away from you. I want you guys to still be strong, have that grit, in moments really never show weakness, just to show up, get shit done when shit hits the fan. I want you to have all those things because I value those things in a man, right? And if we connect in that, I'm with you. But I also want you to then focus on this side now because you overcompensated over here. We know you got this, but you're not over here. And what do we do with weaknesses, friends? What do we do with things that we don't want to do? We gain a lot of strength by focusing on them. We can turn that weakness into a strength or bring it up a little bit higher. And by doing the thing you don't want to do, you actually slowly become a better person. That is kind of how this works. This is a journey. This doesn't happen overnight, friends. But I just wanted you guys to know there is a lie that we've been fed. There's a reason you feel the way you do. And it's nothing you could just put a band-aid on. Because when everything looks great on the surface, you have the money, you have the physique, you have the car, the house, the career, the kids, the wife, and it crumbles, you lose it all. Or while you have it, you don't feel good. I have it all and I still don't feel good. Or you go to vices. There's a reason why. And it's not your fault, but you could do something about it.